to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. 22-year-old black woman on October 7th escaped from the basement of a 39-year-old white male who allegedly went after her and took the life of her friends weeks after Kansas City Police Department dismissed initial reports of the kidnappings as completely unfounded. A Missouri man by the name of Timothy Haslett Jr., who is white, was charged with first-degree first-degree kidnapping, and second-degree assault on October 7th. According to the Kansas City Defender, a black woman identified in court documents as TJ was discovered the day after Excelsior Springs police received reports of banging on doors and screaming for help heard in Halsette's basement. Clay County court documents recounting TJ's reports allege that Halsett kept her in a small room in his basement that he built. He kept her restrained in handcuffs on her wrists and ankles. In addition, Haslett whipped her while she was restrained. There were injuries on her back that were consistent with this description. The documents report that TJ was able to get free when he left to take his child to school, and that upon the police arrival to the residence, they found TJ. She was wearing latex lingerie, had a metal collar around her neck, a padlock, and duct tape around her neck. TJ advised that the man by the name of Timothy picked her up on Prospect in Kansas City at the beginning of September of 2022. An investigation into the case is underway following the rescue, but reports of the murder and missing black women in the area first surfaced by many black residents earlier in September. Tony Cladwell, a local Kansas City bishop, addressed the issue in a video published by the defenders in mid to late September. In the video, Cladwell stating that the missing women seem to be being kidnapped near the city's Prospect Avenue. In a response to the claims from Kansas City's black community, KCPD released a statement calling the reports completely unfounded rumors, which led multiple news outlets to run stories dismissive of the community's testimony. Following the charges filed against Halsett, Cladwell told the outlet, quote, "That was the description of the guy we were talking about, and that was the location we stated that they were being taken from. That's exactly what we're telling people." Per the citizens, local resident Sierra Tharp welcomed TJ into her home following the rescue, providing food and warmth with the help of Tharp's grandmother. Quote, "She made the comment about her friends, that they didn't make it and that he had took their life. I'm really hoping that they find evidence about her friends." In response to the newly uncovered evidence, contrary to KCPD's earlier statements, the department defended dismissing residents' claims. Quote, "We base our investigations on police incident reports of criminal activity. We do still maintain that there is no indication that what you guys reported was accurate, and there was no indication that there was anything that supports the claim. Share what information we can publicly, many times from the scene of the incident of the crimes, when there is a report or an investigation is underway. There had and has not been anything that corresponded to your reports on social media and the web, which is why we refuted the report and stated that the claims were unfounded. The ongoing investigation into the potential series of kidnappings and assaults at the hands of Halsett is expected to take days, possibly weeks, to complete. Cladwell told the defenders, quote, "I'm sorry that it took so long, but I'm grateful that she found a way out. I'm sorry people didn't act sooner on it. And it's absolutely tragic that other young ladies didn't make it. It's horrible." This is a very sad thing that took place. Like I said, I don't know what to tell people. You had a black man in the community that's a part of the community try to bring awareness out, and other community members try to bring awareness out, And it was completely dismissed by not only the police department, but also the media. So that lets you know that the media and the police department go hand in hand when it comes into missing cases of black women, and how it is that those stories never get reported. Even if you have people in the community pushing this information, trying to yell to the rooftops, to the mountaintops, say, yo, we got black women out here missing. Somebody needs to get on this case. Somebody needs to look at this. We this woman is missing from here. This woman is missing here. This woman is missing from here. Even if you got the families and the friends coming out stating this to the media and to the police, they're like, well, we don't really care because we didn't look into it. We're not the ones actually doing the work. We don't have no paperwork. We don't have this. We don't have that. So everything is a lie up until we decide to step in. Nothing is true up until we decide to step in. That's what the police basically stated. And they doubled down on the fact that they were made aware by the community and they opted, they decided not to pay attention to any of that information, allowing that Caucasian individual to take the lives of those women. And only one ended up escaping. Like I said, I don't know what else to tell y'all. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the other platforms out there ain't going to cover this because this has to do with the preference. And the main thing that they will do is not speak against the preference, or better yet, their best interest. If this was a black man who did this, of course, people will sit up there and post it. They'll make tons of video content. They'll look into his background history. They'll look into his grades. They'll look into his family. They'll look up the girlfriends. They'll look up his Facebook. They'll look up his MySpace. They'll look up his IG. They'll look up his TikTok. They'll do all of this in depth detective work. But when it deals with their preference, magically, you don't hear any of these women with the loudest voices, with the loudest platforms. You never hear them speaking. You don't see them talking about it on Twitter. You don't see them talking about it on IG or YouTube or on Twitch or on TikTok. They want to bring awareness to everything else, but when it comes to stories like this, you don't see those same black women trying to inform and let other black women know, like, yo, this is what's happening to us. Pay attention to this because it goes against the best interest. Like I said before, I don't know what to realistically tell black women out here anymore because I've tried to do my best in a multitude of ways by using a variety of rays of emotions, and it falls on deaf ears. And things like this are able to still take place because you have a lot of black women that refuse to listen. And my other question is, how did these women meet up with this guy? Because she stated that she was there and her friends were also there as well. I didn't hear anything about any type of uh, items being used in order to coerce an individual into a vehicle or away from a scene to another scene. I didn't hear of any type of ingredients being used in order for, somebody to be under the influence and not know what it is that they're saying or doing. So I'm trying to really figure out, how did this whole story take place from beginning, middle? Because those are the parts that's missing, and especially the beginning. Because how is it possible that a dude like this is just able to get black women? Because the population of black people is not that high in Kansas the last time I checked. So, like I said before, this is the population. So they said Kansas demographics: population white 82.96, Black African American 5.69. How is it possible that this dude walking around looking like Cactus Jack, Mankind McFoley, how is it possible that this dude is sitting up here getting black women and they're in a predicament like this where their lives are in jeopardy? Somebody has to explain that to me. And before people are trying to say like, "Oh, this is you trying to blame victim because of how it is that you feel about black women." No, I'm trying to figure out the full story. Because if the demographics is for black people, if it's barely even 6%, but the white demographic is 82.96, something is not mathing. Like I said before, it'd have been different if they listed certain things that would show you, like, hey, this is how this and this and this led to the circumstances of these black women ending up at his house. But that's not what we're dealing with. Like I said before, I'm just trying to put together the story and figure out how everything took place. Because if I'm going to think logically, right, and look at how everything is looking, from my perspective, I'm not seeing or understanding, right, or perceiving a lot of black women flocking to this dude just off of the way that he looks. But that's just an observation, right? That's just me guessing. And again, I'm not a black woman. So, that's up to black women to realistically give the inside details or the realistic thought processes of how successful this man might be when it comes to actually obtaining a black woman. But from what everything that I'm able to look at, I'm not understanding. I'm not seeing how this is even possible. Like I said, there's more things I can technically add directly into this, but I'm going to leave that for a later date and wait for an update on the story. Hopefully, there is an update on the story because I'm not hearing anything about the dude, hey, court date, prosecution, and all this other type of stuff. I'm not hearing none of that. So that's a little bit concerning as well because if he is potentially let back out, then it's going to be a problem. Because remember, the police and the media both directly stated that the black community is lying about the fact that there are missing black women, all to end up inevitably finding out that the community was 100% right. Like I said, people need to pay attention.